All right, today we're getting you geared up for the Rtbrick RBFS tour. Think of this as your own personal, hands-on virtual networking lab. Let's get you set up and ready to go.
So what Rtbrick is offering here, well, it's not just a piece of software. It's a complete portable training environment. We're going to break down exactly what you need to fire this thing up and get started. So, what exactly is the RBFS Tour VM? The best way to think about it is like your own personal test drive. It's a totally self-contained virtual machine, a complete training ground built for just one reason: to help you master RBFS, or RBS, by getting your hands dirty with actual practice. Okay, first things first. What kind of power does your machine need to bring to the table? Let's get right into the minimum requirements. You can think of this as the official stat sheet for your hardware.
First up, the engine, your CPU. You're going to need at least 8 cores to power this.
Next, for memory, the baseline is 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's key for keeping things running nice and smooth.
And when it comes to storage, you've got to make sure you have at least 20 gigabytes of disk space available.
So let's put that all together. To run this lab, you need a solid foundation. We're talking a minimum of 8 CPU cores for processing power, 16 gigs of RAM so nothing slows down, and 20 gigs of disk space for the VM itself. And this last one is absolutely crucial. You'll need one network interface for SSH access. That's your gateway into the lab.
So, with the hardware specs covered, let's move on. You've got the power, but now, where do you actually put it?
Now this is a key decision. Are you going to go for a dedicated bare metal setup with Proxmox installed right on the hardware? Or will you run it on top of your existing OS, like Debian or Windows, using VirtualBox? Your choice really just depends on if you want a machine dedicated to this or a more integrated setup.
All right, you've picked your machine and your hypervisor. So after all that setup, what does it all unlock? What's the real payoff?
What you're doing is setting the stage for a fully functional virtual network. But what does that network actually look like? What are the components you're going to be working with?
And here it is. This is your reward. This is your virtual lab. A complete topology with 4 router containers and 1 service node container. They're all interconnected and ready for you to configure, test, and, yeah, even break.
The hardware is ready, the virtual lab is built and waiting, the stage is totally set. So what's your next move? This is where your setup pays off, big time. You'll log in via SSH, start the entire topology with just a single command, and then dive right into the exercises. You'll be learning the RBFS command line and configuring everything from basic interfaces to complex BGP modules.
And that's really the core philosophy right there. The whole purpose of this VM is to bridge that gap between theory and practice. It gives you a safe, repeatable environment where you can apply what you've learned without any real-world consequences.
So the specs are clear, and the virtual lab is ready to be built. The only question left is, are you ready to take the tour?